Unleash your power, an inspired story. In a quiet village surrounded by mountains lived a girl named Aira. She was kind, curious, and had a spark in her eyes that no one really noticed. Every day, she helped her parents in the fields, walked barefoot on rocky paths, and dreamed of faraway places. But no one ever asked her what she truly wanted. They saw her as just a simple village girl, nothing more. One night, Aira stood alone by the river. The moon reflected on the water, and the wind whispered through the trees. She closed her eyes and heard a voice inside her, quiet but strong. You were made for more. It wasn't the first time she'd heard it. That voice had always been there. But tonight, it felt louder, almost urgent. The next morning, Aira made a decision. She took a notebook from her father's drawer and began to write down her dreams, traveling the world, building things, helping others, becoming someone who could lead and inspire. Her hands trembled. She had never told anyone about these dreams. They seemed too big for someone like her. But still, she wrote. When she finally told her parents, they were silent. Then her father laughed. You? Travel the world? You're needed here. The villagers were no kinder. You're chasing clouds, said one woman. Be happy with what you have. Aira felt crushed. Doubt crept in like a shadow. Maybe they were right. Maybe she was foolish. Days passed, but Aira couldn't forget the feeling of that voice in the night. She returned to the river, this time with her notebook. She reread her dreams and whispered to the wind, even if no one believes in me, I must try. That night, she made a silent promise to herself. She would take one step, then another, and another, no matter how small. Aira began learning from the old books in the village library. She walked miles to meet travelers passing through and asked them questions. She learned languages, studied maps, and practiced public speaking by talking to trees in the forest. Every failure was a bruise, but also a lesson. She was still the same girl, but something was changing. She was waking up. One day, a group of visitors came to the village aid workers looking for a local to guide them through the mountain regions. No one volunteered, except Aira. They doubted her at first, but when she spoke with confidence, showed them the paths, and translated between languages, they were amazed. You're not just a guide, one of them said. You're a leader. That moment became a turning point. The workers offered Aira a scholarship to study leadership and development in the city. She left the village, heart pounding, with nothing but a bag of clothes and her notebook. Years later, Aira returned not as the girl they once doubted, but as a woman who had started global programs to support education for girls in rural communities. People gathered to hear her speak, including those who once laughed. Standing on a wooden stage in the heart of the village, Aira looked out at the faces before her. She smiled and said, "There is power inside you, even if others don't see it, even if you don't fully see it yet. Listen to the voice within. Trust it, feed it, follow it. Power isn't about being the strongest or loudest. It's about daring to take the first step when no one else will. Unleash your power, and you'll change not just your life, but the world." The crowd fell silent, inspired. And far in the back, a little girl clutched her own notebook a little tighter. Thank you for listening.